shut up. Watch out.
I'm saying to my head of my Secret Service detail, I'm driving home.
He says he's driving home.
Come on, jump in. I'll give you a ride to Washington. Come on, we're ready. Does that make it work? That's an Uber. What do you think, Mr. We're working to deliver an economy that finally works for working families. We started with the American.
All right, President Biden yesterday at the Detroit Auto Show. At the event, the president touted his plan to roll out an electric vehicle charging network spanning 35 states. As we know, Americans still reeling from Wednesday's troubling CPI report. 8.3% inflation in August. Is now the time to go out and buy an electric vehicle. Mandy Gunasekara served as the chief of staff in the EPA under the Trump administration, currently serving as a senior fellow at the Texas Public Policy Foundation. Mandy, thank you for joining us today. Again, this plan from the president, again, wanting to roll out charging stations, and it's going to cost some money, $900 million set aside for this initiative. Tell me about the impact it might have on this transition, as the Biden White House likes to call it, to electric vehicles.
Well, we certainly need more infrastructure build out for electric vehicles. But what it really shows me is how out of touch and tone deaf this administration is for the average American family. He's boosting funding for a charging network for vehicles that most Americans cannot afford. Meanwhile, folks are still going to have to deal with high cost gas and high cost groceries, which are a direct result of his anti-fossil energy agenda he's been implementing from day one. So yes, we need an infrastructure build out, but in the meantime, we need the president to shift his focus back on investing in American energy to actually provide real relief to the people who continue to drive gas-powered vehicles and have to deal with sky-high inflation, mostly when they go visit the grocery store to purchase the food they need to feed their family.
Yeah, as you mentioned, gas prices are still higher than they were 2 years ago. So you're still paying more when you fill up your vehicle. But you mentioned the shift to energy efficiency here, this EV vehicles. We keep hearing it from the administration. They say, you won't have to worry about gas prices if you just get an EV. But talk to me about actually focusing on drilling stateside. You know, we know the EVs are part of the climate initiative from this administration, but is there a way to acknowledge the fact that the majority of car owners in America have gas-powered vehicles? Is there a way to lower those costs and do so in a way that's not going to cause tremendous damage to the climate?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if he took a more balanced approach to his energy policies, then they could continue to cultivate the development of EV technology, which is much better today than what it used to be, but it still has its limits, which is why, as you rightfully point out, only about 4% of Americans drive EVs nationwide. Look to California. California, you've got the most number of drivers. It's around 12 to 16%, depending on what stats you look at, drive electric vehicles. The rest drive gas-powered vehicles. And if the president and his officials would take a more balanced approach to energy policy, they could continue to cultivate innovation on the EV front, but they could open up access to the type of energy we need today to put lower priced gasoline into the market and to shore up electricity grids. You know, it should be recognized that in places like California, they don't have the energy today to meet current demand. And that problem's only going to get worse if they force thousands to millions of more Americans to plug into a grid while trying to push unreliable energy that isn't going to be able to meet the demand consumers need, not only to power their homes, but to fuel their cars. So it's this extreme approach where they're focusing in on meeting net zero policies that really are detached from reality, not just a cost aspect, but from a technical reality. And we are the ones that are bearing the consequences.
Yeah, the California governor had told people to conserve energy, to turn off your AC, or at least not use so much of it. Mandy Gunasekara joining us with her thoughts this morning. Mandy, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. September is historically the worst performing month for the stock market, so you better be ready for it. The Fed continues to aggressively raise rates, and JP Morgan is forecasting another mega rate hike September the 21st. Is that why Jamie Dimon said an economic hurricane is coming our way? Well, gold and silver have remained remarkably stable despite the Fed aggressively raising rates today. The Patriot Gold Group has a special incentive for Newsmax viewers. Huge! Now precious metals investors can enjoy the no-fee for life gold and silver IRA on qualifying rollovers, or enjoy free, discreet, insured shipping on all direct gold and silver purchases. Here's the number, 800-356-4470. Call 800-356-4470 today.